Greetings people, how's it going? Some random guy here, and today we're gonna take a closer look at Legendary Heroes Unchained. They're gonna have their own NFT sale fairly soon, in the Q4 of this year. The team behind it is composed of industry veterans that work with Marvel, EA, Zynga, Activision and others, and the studio behind it called Network Studios raised over $46 million in funding to build a world-class game experience on the blockchain. Because when it comes to anything that is a game and has the word NFT or blockchain associated with it, most if not all the games that are out right now, you don't play them. They're not good. These guys have already been developing the game for over a year. They are bringing their years of experience creating deep social RPGs in the free-to-play space to the blockchain, while focusing on building a game that retains the player and, more importantly, value for years to come. Plus, they already have the existing IP, as in Legendary Heroes already exists. It's called Legendary Game of Heroes. They made like $300 million in revenue, and they're taking the artworks from those games, the lore, the game experience, and then built on top of that with the whole blockchain NFT technology to make something that people want to play with NFTs. And I would just say, before we jump into the action of me giving you an overview, links to everything in the description down below. You can check them out. Feel free to join the Discord, all that good stuff. This is not financial advice. When you watch this video in the future and you can, give your money to them. It doesn't mean you have to. You're a smart individual, you're strong, you're independent, and you can make your own decisions. That being said, let's start the PowerPoint. In Q4 of this year, they're gonna have the first NFT sale happening in partnership with Forte, where there are going to be 14,000 NFT heroes to mint. The NFTs that are in-game are like the heroes that you used to play with. Then soon after, there's going to be the early access, which is going to be initially on the browser, but then starting early next year, it is going to be on your phone as well. It will be mobile. So far, they got 145,000 pre-registered users that are interested. And the cool thing is that if you want to get a whitelist spot at any point, you can join the Discord, which is live for about a month now, since the end of August, and you can play something like a dungeon crawler minigame in there to win a whitelist spot. And then there might also be some giveaways here and there that grant you a spot as well. The team behind it, as mentioned, contains veterans from different studios out there, including Zynga, Marvel, but in total there are about 70 plus team members in there. So it's not like we have our indie team of 3 random guys, but it's like experienced people in the industry that are working on this to create something that is worth playing. And when it came to the 46 million that they got for funding, that includes investors like Griffin Gaming, Galaxy Interactive, KIP. If you get 46 million in funding, they probably know what they're doing. The game itself though, let's snap back to reality. It's like a match 3 game mixed with the heroes on top, where you then get different stats, different attacks, and then defeat enemies. And there are 5 different kingdoms. And the most important thing they keep from the original game over here in the newfound game is the lore behind it, the artworks, and a few other things here and there. I mean, this looks pretty sick, so might as well make it an NFT. In the game itself, you're going to be able to play against other players, play against the environment, and even have guild versus guild. There's also going to be an arena mode, dungeon mode, so you can go through with your characters. And if you want to see how you experience the game yourself, then after the first mint for the founders, there's going to be early access gameplay available, which means you will see exactly how it goes and how you feel about it. The Game of Heroes itself has been in operation for over 6 years, and if you have a mobile game that makes 300 million over 6 years, and it's still going on, and then we get the good NFT stuff and the experienced people, and we mix everything together, then we should get something that is worth at least trying. Question is now, before we go over to the roadmap and keep on looking at the heroes, what are the NFTs about? Do you mint one single character? There are 5 different kingdoms. Is it random? And what they do is they release the NFTs in the form of hero packs, kind of like card packs that you open, and they got 6 different rarities, ranging from common to legendary. The idea is that the heroes themselves are like long-term investments for the players. Heroes will be released as a part of a gacha system in bronze, silver, as well as gold packs. You will use these to build a team, battle other players, climbing leaderboards, winning competitions, how it usually goes. And those heroes are designed with long-term utility in mind, as well as a long arc of player progression to bring them up to their maximum potential. So if you power up your hero over time, that power stays with the NFT as a permanent property. Which means, in other words, if you put in the work, collect the right heroes and train them up, you're not only going to have the best chances of succeeding in the game, but you can then also, because it is an NFT, cash in your valuable hours on secondary marketplaces because, you know, NFT, you can sell them, and the better they are, the more you get. When I played Hearthstone, my card game that I played for years and years, the problem with that game is that most of the cards that get released in an expansion were complete garbage. And you only kept the good ones, and they were useful for about like half a year. And then they also became useless, because the new stuff always increases in power. And they have a different approach over here. Because otherwise, why would you spend money on something that is worth less in the future? That would be a bad investment. So with that in mind, they designed the heroes with flexible stuff, a future-proof utility, you might call it, And of course because the NFTs, you can trade them, sell them, send to other people, or maybe lose all of them if you accidentally leak your wallet. Keep your NFTs safe, otherwise the boogeyman might come and take them away. And then they also got the white paper over here. For the white paper, they already have a fairly detailed overview of pretty much everything when it comes to game details, the Discord, the NFT drops. For tokens though, instead of just the NFTs, we're also gonna have an in-game economy that is going to feature on-chain tokens as well as off-chain currency. So when you just look at your account and you have, let's say, gold in-game, that's not crypto, but there's going to be a currency that can be converted back to money. At least that's usually how it goes. And they want to make something that is sustainable, because everything else is unsustainable. And what's the point in buying something that goes down in value? Or like, let's say any of those step N thingies where you buy the NFT, you make money, but you have to sell the token to actually get the money out. And then it just devalues the currency. Which is why they not call it play and earn, they call it play and own. If you then want to look into all the different details, which makes more sense once the game is out, or at least when you can buy and trade the NFTs, they also got this covered over here already under game details. You got the hero system, the hero traits, the classes, the types, the specialty, and you can mix and match and build your team based on that. Or like talk to people in your guild, and then when it comes to guild against guild, maybe you have the best possible lineup. Also, the heroes, don't forget, they look pretty sick. And imagine you log into the game, and you're the big guy. Not just any guy, you're the big guy. And you get this one in Legendary. Then you can flex on all them other players. Okay, at this point you might say, well, great, fun, Discord. Okay, let's click the button, you open Discord, you join in here. First thing you do is when you're on this page, the server rules, you click on this button down there, or you just click on this. It's gonna open up anyways. You read the rules, of course. You read all 9 points. Click on the check mark, magic. Everything unlocks. You're also gonna bot called Eternial, which you can talk to if you feel like it, and then see all the different channels they have in here. The role info, the role picker, where you can just react to different things and then get the role. Let's say we like the peaches, I mean, who doesn't? Then you get the role for that. You get the sneak peeks in here, you get the different animated artworks. I mean, look at this. This looks sick. I don't know how the effect is called exactly, but anything that makes a card or an NFT move around looks so much better than just a static image. Which is why I used to like Gwent, the card game, from Witcher a lot, because the golden cards, they move, like the pictures in Harry Potter. And it's a simple thing, but a pretty thing. Kind of like LED lights in the background. They might be cheap, but they look good. But for rarities, I wanted to find a legendary, this guy over here. Let's see, you get the rainbow effect. And when you open Pokemon packs, for example, you get the rainbow fat Pikachu. Whew. Ultra rare, has the white glowing effect on the edges. Looks good as well. And I like the whole camera shift effect. So, good job to the artists. And I would assume to the guy in After Effects who created that, or whatever other program they use. Now here's the thing for the Discord. Usually it's, okay, we have Discord, we talk to people, what's the special thing? And that is the Dungeon Crawler minigame, where you can win whitelist spots. And that is over here under the play category called Daily Adventure, where you can then check your status. You can partake in those every single day, and the higher the score that you get, where you can also check your status, notice your leaderboard alerts, you will be able to not just get a score, but with that score, become part of the whitelist. We as a community can also participate in events, can write the law, give feedback to the developers themselves, because the idea is, instead of just making the game and you have the community separated, you make the community part of the game. And imagine the game at some point is going to be on your phone, you and your friends play, you click at the hero, and you're like, yo, I wrote that. And he's like, you wrote what? I wrote the law behind it. And your friend will be like, oh shit. And that will be a pretty cool thing, because then you're not just a player, you're somebody who contributed to something everybody else plays too. Which I think is pretty cool, but that's just my personal opinion. And now let's take a closer look at the roadmap. They started back with this map over here in September 2021 with the initial announcement of Heroes Unchained, and a couple months later, before the year was over, they had over 100,000 pre-registered members. They opened up the Discord community, had their own Dungeon Crawler minigame in there as well, introduced the daily competitions for the allow list, for spots in the pre-sale, and now aim for the first drop of heroes in Q1 of next year, as well as the early access soon after. We can then earn exclusive NFTs by playing the early access version of Legendary Heroes Unchained. Next up, Q1 as well. We get the second drop of heroes and the third one in the next quarter, as well as the early access number 2. Later on in the year in Q3, we aim for early access number 3, the marketplace as well as token launch, where you can earn tokens through playing, or you can buy them or sell them, as well as buy or sell NFTs with other players. And then lastly, for the last step in Q4, we really aim for the open access, which means in about a year from now, more players around the world, anybody basically, can try out the game for themselves and start playing. Earlier I mentioned Forte, which is a blockchain technology platform with over $1 billion in funding, and they launched together with legendary heroes Unchained over here to really bring the best in the industry together. Most importantly though, for us as players, we get most of the stuff explained already in the white paper. We get the levels, we get the power, and that is all what they wrote down before you can even access the game. Which means there's going to be a lot of information available once the game officially goes live, once you get the early access, and when you get your NFTs, you will have a great variety of things in the game to do when it comes to achievements, ranks, things to pursue after. And that was one of their main philosophies behind the game, because if you played the original game for the past like 6 years and you're one of the top players, there isn't really much of a reward outside of the game, right? If I'll be the best Call of Duty player right now, I could play in tournaments and I can make YouTube videos, but that's kind of it. If you're a top 1% player, you can't really play in tournaments, but you're still really good. But there's no real life reward. If you have NFTs and a token attached to that, you can keep on doing what you do, enjoying the game, playing it, while also getting rewarded for it. So the hours you spend are worth a lot more. That being said, let me know what you think. I got the links to everything in the description down below. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and until next time, take care.